Hey guys, welcome to Miss Veronica Louise in my second week update. And one of the struggles I was having this past week was really binge eating and trying to compensate for that. So in looking at what I've been doing, I've been slowly sliding away from what I'm supposed to be, what I should be doing, and just been doing. How many times do I say doing? So one of the things, like, I'm supposed to be able to plan my meals out and do all these things, but I just feel like there's not enough time in the day, and I haven't made as much progress as I want. So I wanted to do this just to keep myself accountable, review my weeks, see my struggles and my successes, and again, if it can help anybody out there, why not? So this week's been really big for me. I had my daughter here with me. She doesn't just stay with me. She moves, or she lives with her father in Houston, so I don't get to see them as much as I want to, but I get to see them as much as I can. I had her for about a month or so this summer, and it was great. But I had to drive her back down to Houston and switch her out with her brother. So we did that, and that just really did cause a little bit of upheaval in my diet for that day. I wasn't prepared for it, and that was my own fault because I didn't really prepare for her leaving so soon. So one of the other things I found I've been struggling with this week really a lot would be body dysmorphia. I watch a lot of fitness YouTube. I don't know if y'all do, but I watch a lot of fitness YouTube, and just to get an idea of how, good workouts to try, things, change up my routine a little bit. And one of the things that I see are like all these physically fit women who do wonderful things. I'm like, I should look like that. I want to look like that. And I get very discouraged when I realize how far I have to go to get there. And I have to remind myself of how far I've come, because looking at what I would like to look like and what I do look like, they're so far from each other. But even with that, looking at where I came from to now, they're so far from each other. And I just have to keep reminding myself that it's a steady progress, but it's been something that I personally try to work on every week, because again, if I go face first to a bit of bread, it only hurts me, and I don't like how I feel after. I don't like what I put my body through just so that I can have that craving. Not to mention, it's not the best food that I crave, and when I let myself have those, I feel very fatigued the next day. I feel very worn out and very fatigued and very worn out, and I just feel weaker at the gym. Like I can't lift as much, I can't do as many reps, so I do back off. I try to listen to my body, but it's hard when your mind says you want to do one thing, but your body is only able to do so much. And being 35 years old, I expected to slow down a little bit, but being overweight for so long has really messed with me. And unfortunately, those are all things that can really lead me into this downward spiral of depression of just, I'm not losing, I don't see the changes, I'm not getting there as fast as I want to. And it puts me into the cycle of fight, flight, or feed, and I've been feeding. And it's really out of control. And it leads me into like this spiral of, I feel insecure, I feel like I haven't accomplished anything, and then I feel depressed, and then I want to eat, and then I have self-loathing because I ate, and then I need to hit things harder the next day because I need to make up for what I ate. And it's this terrible cycle that if I just let it go, I would probably end up in the hospital, to be honest. It's very difficult to separate what somebody healthy would feel in this situation and to what I feel, because I don't know if it's the hunger pains or if it's like head hunger, or if I've let myself slip into a depression. I need to see my doctor. Like it gets very confusing. So I try to keep check out with myself, see how I'm actually feeling, meditate just a little bit to get some of the anxiety away. I definitely have been trying, although not successfully, trying to stay away from carbs, and with that it just leads into binging. Like I remember this week I had two packs of crackers over an hour, like little 6-packs, and they were really good, but I knew I should not have eaten them, and then I felt terrible after I ate them, and I was like, why did I eat them? And then I went down this little path of self-deprivation, or just berating myself for eating that. And then I had to catch myself, and I was just like, do better, you can do better. This past week, me and my fiance have been having some struggles, and not with each other, but just our living situation and finances, and trying to work things through. So it's been a very high stress week, and as there are some opportunities that may be presenting themselves in the next few weeks or months that would be very exciting to take advantage of, but there's still a little bit of ways before we know if it's to happen or not. And if it does happen, it'll be a big change in my life. So I'm stressed out about it. And then when I'm stressed, I want to eat. And I don't want to eat good things. I don't want to eat like cauliflower pizza with vegan cheese. I want to eat like buffalo wings that have been deep fried twice. So we're going through that right now, and I'm really trying to focus on me and being selfish enough to where I can keep myself on plan, but it's very difficult. I have what I categorize as fight, flight, or feed, and that's fight or flight. Things get anxious. Do I want to stay and go through it, or run? And what I end up doing is burying my face in a bag of Doritos and not dealing with the problem. So one of the other big things that happened this week was my daughter was here for about the past month or so. And I recently drove her back down to Houston to be with her dad again. And that takes a toll on me. Like, I love that little girl with everything. So like sorrow because she's leaving, and then I'm happy because I'm getting my son, but it's still that bittersweet moment that is hard to handle. It's hard to handle just going through it. But then the 8-hour car trip to drive there and drive back, it's not the best food because I didn't prepare for it. But we did what we did, and I didn't do terribly. What I did get was, it wasn't wonderful, but we're still here. My jeans still fit, so that's a plus. And I really have had issues with just not binge eating these past couple of weeks, just because of all the changes that have been happening and the struggles that we've been dealing with in our personal life. But Also because YouTube is just showing me like all of these thumbnails of just the 10,000 calorie binge and like the 10,000 calorie cheat day and the 3,500 calorie cheat, like these, like that's hard, guys. For someone who likes to eat, somebody who loves food, who loves flavor and tasting different things and doing all these things, and then just like my whole feed is just filled with binges, and it's like showing an alcoholic person, someone else is just drinking alcohol in front of them. It's so hard. And I know these people who do this, they have their own lives and they're doing it for views, but binging, man, it's hard. It's hard. Especially with this sleeve right now, because I can honestly just eat so much more of like just processed carby food than I can of real food. And it doesn't, I'm never satisfied. So I tried intuitive eating, but being a binger, I've been hearing that term a lot recently, intuitive eating. Be intuitive about your body and eat when you feel like you should. And I get it. I get that not everybody has issues with food and their relationship with food isn't completely toxic, but mine is. So if I try to intuitively eat, I'm gonna intuitively eat a whole dang package of Pringles. Like, there will be no stopping me. So those aren't things that these are things that I've learned that I can't do. Successes. I did make it to the gym every day of the week, and I did my workout, and I did my run, and I'm still not running as quickly as I could or should, but I am progressively getting better, and that will continue to be a goal. Is I do want to run a 5K by October, but we'll see if we can get there without dying. So my goal this week is again to make it to the gym 3 to 5 times a day. So just overall, not a whole lot of changes, not a whole bunch of, just random thoughts for this week's update. Hope that wasn't too all over the place. And I know it kind of was, but we're learning, we're getting better. And if you want to hang around and stay in for next week and just follow my journey, then definitely do so. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.